yeah, I can remember until that part. So pushing Gangplank would be a good idea here.
Yeah, okay, cool. So, um, this is like good. Okay, I'm not sure if you did this on purpose, but like this is why like pushing the wave is good, is because if any range champion trades with you, right? Generally they're gonna like draw minion aggro. So like this guy Qs you, and then all these 5 creeps hit him, right? So that's why minion advantage is so strong, is because even though his Q is actually stronger than your E, he still loses the trade because he took like 10 minion auto attacks or something. So that's like another reason why pushing is so strong.
Yeah, that was not on purpose.
Okay, all good, all good. Okay, good, good. Wow, he actually, I'm surprised gold Gangplank players can do that, but kind of cool. Okay, so
Yeah, I was sort of surprised.
here at this point, like, I don't know if you've watched my like jungle video, but at around 230 is when you start like needing to place a ward
Yeah,
or like,
warding.
yeah. So like this, if you're versus a good jungler, this is very, very scary because you're like half health and you have no vision on either side. Also, like at this sort of point, if you don't have any vision, you should be hugging towards your jungler because at least that means that like if you get ganked from the other side, you can run towards your jungler. So right now, I think if you're in Challenger, you would die, like right now. So this is like, you know, it's not a big deal in gold, right? But if you want to play like really well, this would be an opportunity for you to kind of
No,
like fix it up.
of course, yeah. Okay, so yeah, no, please point out every single mistake. I really want to.
Yeah, it might be
Yeah,
a it might be
I
a
watch
long
your,
a
I watch
long
all
VOD.
your,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, I watch all your videos, so I know that I should ward at 230, but sometimes I don't know, either I'm too lazy or I just don't look at the time. I'm like, I just lose track of time.
Yeah, now it's hard to build up
But
the habit.
again towards the. Okay, cool.
So yeah, there's like the two things. So
I
here,
wanted to push the wave in.
yeah, well you can do that, but if you are gonna do it, like a way you could do it is like if you quickly, okay, if you were on this side instead of here, like if you were hugging towards your jungler, you could quickly just ward above this wall right here, and you would be safe to push in the next wave. And if you didn't want to ward, like right now, if you wanted to be greedy, you need to like instantly one-shot this wave. Like you're not really playing for that, right? Like if you do want to be greedy with your ward, you have to like EQ, and just like kill this wave in the next 5 seconds so that you're not here for any longer than you need to be. Because yeah, it's just like risky. But you get the wave all the way in.
Okay.
And now there's a couple things you could do here. Honestly, I think one thing you could probably do right now that's pretty like Ryze specific is I think you could just base for a tier right now. Because you're a Versa champion that has like a pretty low wave clear, you can probably recall and get all the way back to lane without needing to TP. So that's one thing that a lot of Ryzes in high rank do, is because like Ryze on the cannon waves pushes so fast because like the E, if you E the cannon, right, it'll spread to like all the creeps. So normally Ryze can just like kill cannon waves way faster than like any other champion. So you can just like, you can use cannon waves to just like quickly base. So like here you have mid prior, which you can use for like, you know, roaming, warding, basing essentially. But you just kind of don't really use it for anything. Like you could have got this ward just by walking through here. I guess like maybe you'd be scared of the jungler, right? But it's like, okay, you come ward this. I'd say it was pretty much, it's not a waste of time, but it's like you could have used the time better, you know? So like now you're basing, but you're forced to use TP. So you could have done that without TPing basically. But you're in a pretty good spot now, I would say. So like the wave is on your side, and like, oh yeah, actually you could probably walk to this Nocturne, I think, if you just clear a little bit of this. Let's see. Yeah, I like what you're doing. I think you just push this out. This is like using Ryze's wave clear. Let's see. Does Nocturne? Well, Nocturne killed them both. Okay, so what happened here?
You got a kill.
Yeah, I think the reason this probably happens is I think... Okay, this is hard in my opinion, but when you see that like the junglers are about to fight, you probably need to try kill this wave as quick as possible, or at least kill some of it so that you can walk to this. Because like Ryze, he's very much about like playing for his jungler and like helping his jungler. and just like pressuring the map in general. So being locked, sort of like stuck in your lane as Ryze sort of sucks. And I'm thinking if you had based like ages ago and just been here, I think you might have been able to clear this wave in time anyway. Not totally sure, but maybe.
Yeah, and I would have had the chance to contest that.
Yeah, exactly. And if you can get that kill on Nocturne, like if you get those
So
double buffs,
that's very. So that's very variable. So in that situation, because I really asked myself at that point, I looked at the map and I saw them in their jungle, but I was like, okay, sometimes I need to be a little bit selfish. I have a wave to clear. I am stuck with GP, so I'm not going to move. But that's very helpful. So I should be able now to I should actually move much faster and react to the map. That I mean, you would have moved in that situation.
yeah, I think so. But I also just think it's really like I agree with you. It's a hard decision to make because if you like leave right now, you give up like a lot of farm, right? Like it is sort of risky,
Yeah.
but I think the bigger thing is like realizing how important it was to base quickly, you know? Like say this is me playing and I like push and I like literally base right now, I'm gonna be here like so much quicker than you are that I might not even have to make this tough decision, you know? So on a champion like Ryze, where you're like about roaming and pushing, your like tempo on the map is like really, really important. Like your time matters a lot.
All right.
Yeah, and hopefully you won't need to make the sort of hard decisions. Okay, let's see how you clear this. That's fine. Okay, now you saw... Okay, so here you saw Nocturne cross mid to bot, so you know Nocturne's bot side basically. You can keep pushing these waves in, I'd say. There's nothing else really for you to do. You should probably try use one of these waves to get a deep ward. Or actually, you could look to roam... no, you're not 6 and you're low mana. I wouldn't roam. Okay, this is good. I like what you're doing here. It's a nice ward. This is a very good ward against Nocturne, by the way. Because like normally Nocturne will ult mid from this sort of location. So again, I don't know if you did it on purpose, but that was a really smart ward. You can just say you did it on purpose, even if you didn't.
On purpose against... No, I didn't. I just put this word at that spot, but not necessarily against like Nocturne. Just
Yeah,
against any
I mean it is good against most junglers, to be honest. Okay, this was yeah. I mean, like you had really good fundamentals here. You used your prior to ward. You then pushed under the wave. Gangplank lost that, and you base. So this, like, okay, regardless of like the rest of the game, right? You play this 30 seconds here perfectly. There's nothing better you could have done here. So that's really cool. Like, you are making a lot of mistakes, right? But also you have like decent enough fundamentals that at some points of the game you are playing well. So that's cool. I really like that. You base. Do you have magical boots? Oh no, you don't. Okay, so I think here it's probably better to buy boots and mana and a pink ward rather than an amp tome. The reason is that like on Ryze, the most important stats are like movement speed and mana because it means you can like push and move quicker. And also pink ward helps a lot because it means you can like make sure the place you're roaming to like isn't warded at all. So I think here, like having no boots and no pink, it actually like limits you quite a bit. So yeah, you could probably spend your gold a bit better there.
Yeah, okay, got it. I agree with that. I always try to go for maximum AP by default. But yeah, that's very helpful.
Okay, so you push.
I think here I'm just pushing the wave.
Yeah, this is good.
I think I will just be perma pushing now.
Yeah, I think now I'm not sure here. Okay, so like there's like a couple things here. So on a like a lower level, because your jungler is in base, you should be quite careful here, right? But I think if you play really well, if Nocturne ults you, I'm pretty sure you can Ryze ult instantly and get out of it. So like I'm not sure if you're playing safe here because you're thinking about the fact that your jungler's off the map and also that you have no vision. And I think, like, to be honest, a diamond player would probably make the same decision as you. But I think if you play extremely well, you can actually bait Nocturne ult here. Like, you could play super aggressive and try get Nocturne to ult you. Kind of up to you if you want to be that kind of, like, crazy. But I think you probably could do it. And I guess maybe the more general thing to learn is that you can use your Ryze ult to like get out of ganks quite easily. So there's a lot of times where another champion might have to play quite safe here, but you can actually continue playing aggressively. Because this is a scary situation. You have no vision like either side of mid, and part of that is because you have no pink ward, so like that was kind of important, right? But also that you do have like a little bit of extra safety, sort of.
Yeah, so as soon as you hear the Nocturne ult, you just ults out.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, if you're playing under the tower, right, it's pretty much a guarantee you get ulted, so you know it's going to be on you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so when these cannon waves come, it's like so much quicker if you just wait for the creeps to stack up and then E the cannon. Like, you should never be clearing cannon waves like this. So... yeah, that's not great. Like, you waste, like, mana at the start, and it's not really much faster. You literally, all you need to do... okay, so the reason this becomes, like, really weird is because you actually pulled this creep down. But when it's 2 cannon waves, literally just wait for the cannon to come, and then E that cannon, and Q the entire wave, and then, like, EQ it again. And you should be able to kill this wave, I'm gonna say about, like, 3 to 5 seconds faster, which definitely adds up. Okay, so now when you kill a cannon wave, it's, like, the perfect time to roam, basically. Yeah, okay, you've realized. So you're running straight bot, your jungler is nearby, and the enemy bot is pretty pushed up, so it's like a really good time to roam. Nice ult.
But it didn't go well.
Okay, let's see. So I think, okay, if you are here a little bit quicker, like if you had cleared this wave a little bit faster, you would obviously be here sooner. And I think, see, I like the ult. So Renata kind of walked the wrong way. I think here... okay, I'm pretty sure this is a good roam. I think if you had instantly flash EW this Xerath, he probably dies, because I don't... like, okay, if he matches flash with you, he has to flash, like, down, right? To get out of your W range, and then Fiddlesticks would just get him. Even if he flashes here, I think maybe now, if you just EW this Nico, she probably dies. I'm not sure why that guy took so long to fear it, but I also think... oh wait, was this the real one? Oh my god, I got juked.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, no, you were right. You were right. I got juked. So yeah, wait, so if you EW this guy... WQ... okay. I'm actually kind of surprised it didn't work out. I'd say... I think the main problems were, like, you had to be a little bit quicker. And maybe if you'd flashed EW to Xerath, you would have killed him. But to be honest, I think you did play this, like, pretty well. And I don't think you should expect this not to work most of the time. So, like, I'd say this was a bit unlucky that it turned out this way. Although, actually, you got a kill, so it kind of turned out well for you. Okay, I think, yeah, maybe if you'd done it a bit quicker, it would have been good. But I don't really mind it. I think... this was like, your teammates didn't play this that well, and you maybe could have played it a little bit better. But to be honest, because you didn't die, and you got a kill, it's still pretty good for you. Become... okay, right. You swapped to Sweeper here, but I don't think you ever really want Sweeper on Ryze, and the reason is that, like, well, in the early game, right, you get a lot of priority, so you can, like, get deep vision, and also you need vision because you're going to be pushing a lot. And then in the mid game, when you side lane, you're still going to want yellow ward because you're going to need to create a lot of wards and, like, a lot of vision for yourself. So you go into red trinket, it's going to make it really hard for you to push safely, or at least like okay, this, like, no ult up against the enemy tower, no vision, it's scary. It's pretty scary. Like, okay, you know, I think that Nocturne doesn't have ult, so maybe you can get away with it for, like, a couple waves, but, like, you're playing a little bit on the edge here.
Yeah.
So if you had, like, a pink ward and a yellow ward, for example, it makes playing like this way easier. And I think here you can probably get this tower play. I think one more auto, or you can get it on the next wave. So maybe push this. I think here you just commit to getting this tower plate. It's so low, it's like 160 gold that you're about to miss out on. It's pretty hard to roam at the moment because you don't have your R. Like, you're gonna have to walk all the way down bot, and I don't think that's, like, the greatest. Because by the time you get here, even if you get a kill, you should lose a turret plate and a whole nother wave. Like, let's see. Okay, so you do kill this guy. So not the worst. Actually, it was a pretty big shutdown. but I'm actually wondering how worth this is, because... Actually, no, I'm wrong. Okay, so the reason this is good, but I don't know if you thought about it, is because you have TP. So, there's like good things about it. Like, you're roaming early. Like, the wave is not yet past the mid tower, right? So that's good. Your jungler's on this side, and they're low. So there's like a lot of good things about it. If you didn't have TP though, I probably wouldn't go for it. And the reason is that, like, when you get down here bot and you kill this guy, at this moment, if you don't have TP, Gangplank makes you lose a whole wave and then like 2 plates. Yeah. So it's like, Gangplank gets like, what, like 400 gold? And you got 700 gold, which is like, obviously you're getting more, right? But it wasn't a guarantee that you got this kill. Like, if, for example, Xerath had realized earlier, like, say the river was like warded, or Gangplank was like spamming pings, and Xerath just leaves earlier, like, you can't get the kill, right? So I think that, honestly, it's a pretty good roam. I'd say, like, maybe I was too careful in this roam. I think it's pretty good, but I think, like, it would be way better, at least, if, like, when you went for this roam, you were thinking about this stuff, and then, like, you could make the decision, right? Like, you have TP, so you can get back to mid, and you get this kill. So, like, right now, I think you should TP back, but you don't. Oh, but he also didn't go for your tower, so, but you did lose a whole wave. I think you TP, like, right now, honestly, yes, and I think you get that wave, yeah. Okay, so another cannon wave.
So sorry.
Oh wait, yes.
I do have a question. So would you mean that for not only Ryze specific, I guess, but all the other mages, you only roam when there's a cannon? I mean, roaming. Sorry, you only go walking to another lane when it's a cannon wave, unless you have TP or a teleport, right?
Sort of. Like, I think it just depends, like, how good the roam is going to be, and also what champion you're playing. The reason that, like, Ryze doesn't really want to roam... Okay, there's, like, a few reasons. So first, Ryze pushes cannon waves really fast, right? Whereas other champions might push regular waves really fast. So if you think of, like, Victor, for example, Victor kills normal waves really quick, but actually kind of struggles with cannon waves. So, like, for Victor, or Ahri is another champion. Ahri is actually probably a better example, because Ahri likes to roam. And she can kill normal waves really quick, but she struggles with killing the cannon creep. So on Ahri, you actually don't really want to roam on cannon waves, you want to roam on regular waves. And then the reason I think that roaming on Ryze in general without ult is a little bit bad is because it can be hard for you to actually, like, walk up and CC someone. Because, okay, let's say you're Ahri instead of Ryze here, right? If Ahri just, like, you know, 1 dash, 2 dash, she kills this Xerath, right? But if you're like a Ryze walking at this guy, like, he can slow you, he can stun you, like, you have to invest your flash to make this work. So, like, the way a Ryze gank sort of goes normally is that you ult behind them, and that puts you in, like, snare range, right? It's not normally the case that Ryze can just, like, walk down and EW someone. But, like, this worked out, right? Because, like, you had flash and this guy was, like, 1 HP. But I think, flash, yeah, if say this is, like, I don't know, say this is like a Karma or something.
That was a bad room, but it turned out to be well, but that's not consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not like... I think it's not a bad room because you have TP. But also another thing is that, like... Okay, if we see Xerath is really low HP here, it could be a good roam, right? But this whole time, you don't actually look. Like, I don't know if you know Xerath's HP at all, right? Like, you still haven't seen him. So, like... If you're walking down here, and that's a full HP Xerath, then it's really bad, right? Like, you don't realize until right here. So yeah, I don't know, I really need to make a roaming video, but there's, like, a lot of stuff that you can consider, but basically it's like, you should just take roams when they're good, and not take roams when they're bad, which is, like, the most useless advice ever. But it's like, all the stuff that goes into a good roam is, like, you know, summoners, HP, like, wave position, all that stuff. I think, like, right now, your roams have been pretty successful. It's just, like, maybe they also wouldn't have worked out. And, like, you just need to really think about your roams. I think right now, you're just roaming all the time. And it's sort of worked out. But also, I don't think you put in that much thought into them. So, like, if you want to get, like, more consistently better at it, because, like, I haven't seen your other games, right? It might be that in your other games, like, you have a lot of failed roams doing the exact same thing. So it's sort of hard to tell. But yeah, that would be kind of my thoughts on it. So you're pushing this. Definitely. This was really good. I like that you're doing this. I think you are doing quite well though, like, to be honest, because you're like 90 CS at 11 minutes, which is, like, probably the best I've ever seen a gold player do, and you haven't died, so, like, you're in a really good spot to carry the game. Okay, like this is like a really good roam because like the enemy are well, actually we don't know their HP, but I'm just like assuming they're sort of low. There's like no way. Oh, actually they're kind of full HP. Okay, let's see how it goes. I think you could maybe get a kill here. Oh wow, this guy just like one shot. Oh, I know he dies, right? Oh, Silver can kill him. Do your bot have any stuns? Okay, I think, yeah, a big thing for you is going to be you really need to check what HP your opponents have. Because, like, I thought that this would be a situation where they're sort of, like, low. Because they're, like, pushed up against the tower. But they're actually, like, almost full HP. I think also, you could have ulted maybe a bit further out of Xerath's range. Like, I think if you ult here, like, up here, you can still kill these guys without walking into Xerath's E. Because the problem is that, like, okay, if you TP here, you get... you're actually kind of lucky that Nico doesn't have her E, because if it's like you get Xerath E'd, Nico E'd, and then like Nico ulted, you just don't get to move and you just die. So like, yeah.
Yeah, when I TP'd in, I just realized that I was dead. I mean, I was like, okay, that was not the greatest ult ever. But that happens a lot of times. I'm not gonna lie, that happens a lot of times. So that's why I also send you that video, because it's an example of what I can do sometimes with Ryze ults.
Yeah, so I think the two biggest things, basically, like, you really need to check their HP, and also, yeah, if you'd ulted a bit higher, probably would have been able to kill them. So I think, yeah, that was almost really good.
Yeah.
I don't mind the roam at all. I think that was honestly, like, better most of the time. It just, like, sorted and pan out. Okay, now you went Sork Shoes. I think it's a very bad purchase this game. So there's like a few reasons. So the first is that you have a lot of AP champs on your team. So you know that they're going to be stacking magic resists. So like Flat Pen, like Stork Shoes or Shadow Flame aren't going to be that valuable. Like you have a Fiddlesticks, you have a Malphite, and you have a Renata that all deal AP damage. And also like Ryze is a champion that benefits a lot from tankier stats. I would have probably built Ninja Tabi this game, or what are they called? Steel caps or something. Anyway, the armor boots, because they have like Gangplank Nocturne. And even though they have like a lot of AP champs, I think you're mainly going to be up against these two. But to be honest, if you weren't going to build like the armor boots, it would be because you're building Merc Treads, right? It would be because you're building like Tenacity against Nico and Xerath and also MR. I think Sork Shoes are probably just like the worst option of anything you could have bought, pretty much. So yeah, definitely a different boot choice.
So is it because you only buy Source when you don't have a lot of magic resist, but if they build magic resist, you just buy everything, right? Like Lucidity or
yeah, the way I normally look at it is it on Ryze, because like on other champions, they might only be able to build Sork Shoes because the other boots might just suck on them. But because Ryze can like actually use tank stats quite well, I would say that like if you're the only AP on your team, just probably go Sork Shoes. But otherwise, I would probably go Steel Caps, like the armor boots or Merc Treads most of the time, because Ryze really needs tank stats because he's short range. Like if you're playing something like Lux, you can always get away with Sork Shoes because you're just like, no one's ever going to hit you, right? Because you've just got like 1,000 range. But Ryze, you're always going to take damage because you're just too short range.
Okay.
Let's see. Not much else you can do here other than push.
I've been playing a lot of tank Ryze, but I heard that since it has been nerfed, it was better to go full AP. So now I'm trying to go full AP all the time.
Yeah, I think you still want to go like the AP items. You know, like I don't think you want to build Fimbulwinter or whatever it's called. Yeah. But I think you definitely want the tank boots. Well, what happened here?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay, so guess you get dunked. Okay, I think the main thing here was actually your greedy pathing. So like at this point, it's like this is still fine because you see Nocturne up here, right? But after you get chunked out, well actually you probably didn't see him because you were fighting Xerath, okay. But like at this point, now you should definitely see Nocturne. Like you just saw him on your screen. So like you have no flash, no R, and you're like half HP. Walking into a Nocturne here is just like, you're just asking to die pretty much. So this guy ults you. I don't think there's any way to survive. That guy's like 5-0. So yeah, you just die. Zhonya's, I think, definitely the right choice, so I like that out of you. Okay, this point of the game, when like the tier 1 towers are down, this is where you want to be in the side lane instead of grouping. Yeah. So the general rule is like...
Here, as from now on, the game is like totally... For me, I totally lose control over the game when the turrets like are down. Like the first turret are down. I don't know how to play as from now on.
That's really important because like as Ryze, you really want to side lane. So if you like struggle with that part of the game, it is just... And Kale as well, actually. You're just going to have a hard time. So when the like first few tier 1s start falling, that's really when you want to go to the side lane and you want your Sivir to go mid, or your AD to go mid, or whatever. So when you see like this sort of situation, like you come to a wave, when you know that Nocturne's ulting top, you just want to push like a maniac until someone comes to you. And like you can afford to be pretty aggressive because you can always ult out, right? Like honestly, I think you see Gangplank here, but I would probably just clear this wave and then ult out if he was actually going to come to you. But he doesn't look like he is, so you can just clear this wave anyway. Clear that. And here you need to go do these Krugs. So you know already that Ryze farms camps really quick. Your jungler is on the top side of the map. So the way you accelerate yourself here is that you take these Krugs, and you probably take these Raptors as well. Okay, you did do the Raptors, so that's good. Could have got the Krugs too.
Yeah, the Krugs looked a little bit scary for me because I had no.
Because
and Nico was pressuring me.
Yeah, this is
Nico. I'm pretty much scared about anyone, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I'm never confident in my 1v1 ability.
Yeah, that is fair. I think like if Nico gets the jump on you, you definitely die. But part of that is that like you have no wards, right? Like to take these Krugs, you probably do need to ward this bush up here. And so if you can't see this bush, like it's gonna be scary, right? I think like having yellow trinket and a pink ward would probably make it a lot easier for you. And I think in general, like being confident in the 1v1 will come from just like being stronger, you know, like you're not really that strong at the moment because you've died twice and like your CS isn't like on the clock. Whereas I think like if you'd like played the game a little bit better, you would be probably like 3 levels up over that Nico, and you would definitely be able to kill her. So I kind of understand why you're not confident. Okay, so now like Sivir bases. Oh yeah, I see why you died here. Okay, so basically like this is again sort of hard to recognize, and it's why I hate champs like Nocturne and Evelynn. But it's like this wave is pushing to you anyway, right? Like Gangplank's gonna kill this. There's no reason for you to walk up to this. If this does happen, you probably need to like... No, actually, I think you die pretty much no matter what. I was gonna say like instantly stopwatch, but I think like, I don't know, this is very specific to these long-range ganking champs like Evelynn, Nocturne, Zac, you know, those sort of champs. But you need to be really careful basically on waves like this. So I don't really mind this death that much because like I feel like it's not something that's gonna happen super often. You know, it's like one of those things that's like you could improve this, but like how often does this really happen? Like I don't think that much. So I don't really mind that death that much. Your Sivir's kind of catching bot, so you have no choice but to catch mid. I don't think there's anything else you can do about that. But yeah, here, take these wolves. Nice, nice. I think you push top wave here, and as soon as you hear Nocturne ult, you just ult. Okay, you see Nocturne bot. You see Nocturne... Wait, has defeated... Wait, what? Oh, that's Nico bot. Okay, yeah. No, you were... oh my god.
I saw him hero and I was scared. So
no, you're right. You're definitely right. I was like, I saw Nocturne bot. Okay, no, you're definitely right. You can't push that if Nocturne's right next to you. Right now, when Nocturne's showing mid, I think you could probably push one more wave and then either TP out or ult out. Although, you do come to this. Like, this doesn't make sense because Nocturne's like diving in 1v3. But I mean, like, Yeah, if you can get the kill. Oh, this guy's really fast. Good ult. I think you kill him, right? Yes, nice. Okay, you smurfed it. And now you push top. This is really good. Push one more. Take the Krugs on the way out. Oh my god, perfect, perfect. Oh, you did that really well. Did that really well. So this bot wave should be yours. You should just ping on the way to this, because Sivir should be catching mid. If you don't, though, like, you could go to your blue and, like, the top jungle. So, like, that would be fine, but the problem is what actually happened here is that rather than you getting that bot wave and rather than you getting the blue, you just like came mid and shared gold and XP. Yeah. So it's just like the worst possible outcome basically. Okay, so now you come to this bot. Now, what happened here? Okay, so Malphite got ulted, which means you can push bot for free. Okay, yeah, here's another time. Like, even though you don't have vision, Ryze is like the best champ at just like cheating no vision. So if Nocturne doesn't have ult, you can just push one more and you can always ult out. Like no one's going to be able to get to you in time. So I think like you could have pushed this wave and then if anyone comes, you just like run down a bit to the bush and then ult yourself like somewhere down here, you know? So you can be like really greedy.
Yeah, that's smart.
I like the TP. I don't think you're ever going to use your TP for anything else. This is, again, like, you see everyone bot side. There's no tower to defend down here. You know Nocturne has no ult. You push another wave top here, for sure. That's another free wave that you can get. And also, it's like, if you push this wave, they have to base and come onto this. Whereas, like, right now, if you just base and match, like, they can keep sieging because there's no like reason. Okay, yeah, so this Gwen would have contested you on this wave, but there's no way she can kill you because you just ult out. So it doesn't really matter. You come to this fight. What happened to your HP? You just get Gangplank ulted? Oh, you got an eco queued.
I got all of it.
Nice Everfrost. Nice. You guys did that well.
And now we lose top turrets because I didn't push the
wave. Yeah, that's yeah, I'm actually glad you recognize that. That is like exactly why that happened, basically. What happened here? Yeah, this was sort of bad. I think like if you know you can get this kill, then it's good. But also just like recognize what you're losing for this. So like again, it's like if you did come here, you get like one top wave, probably two top waves, and you also keep your ult. So like instead you've used all that. It's like now Sivir catches that top wave instead of you, and you don't have R, and you still haven't farmed that top wave. Like even after this, you can't help in this fight anymore, like it's over, right? Like your jungle support and top are already dead. So you just come top and kill this wave. And that makes it so they can't use that. Because like, okay, if you come mid, like something about Ryze is that because he's so short range, it's actually pretty hard to defend towers. Like, you see how you have to kind of like clear this from way back and like, even though you're right here, they're like killing your tower in front of you. So like, I think what you could have done is like, actually, if we back this up way up, is that like, okay, you would be at this top wave, you push the top wave all the way here, and then even if they had killed your team, they wouldn't be able to push this because they would have to deal with this top wave. So it all kind of links together. And you base, come out here. There's not really anything you can do here, to be honest. Like, obviously it's better if you don't die, but it's, like, really hard for you to play the game now, because, like, all your team's dead and stuff. I think, yeah, maybe you just need to recognize here that, like, your entire team is dead, so you're gonna, like, 1v3. And, like, maybe you can, if you play it, like, super well. Let's see, could you have played it better?
I didn't.
I want to see, though, because, like, okay, so you have a Zhonya's, which you can use. I'm not sure what you use it on. I mean, you dodged that Q, so that's good. It's hard because they've got so many like slows and stuff. I don't think you could have played it much better. You probably just need to not fight it. Okay. Yeah, so the reason like it's so hard for you to carry this game basically is that like Ryze is sort of a champion like Lucian, where you're so short range that for you to like win fights and like carry hard and stuff, you need to be like way higher level and like way higher CS than everyone else. And like you have the tools to do that, right? Like you snowball, like you clear waves really fast, you clear camps really fast, you're good at side laning. But if you're ever in a game where you're like even with the enemy team, like you're level 14 and everyone else is also level 14, and you've got like 4 deaths as well, like yeah, like if you're down levels to people on the enemy team as Ryze, the game's going to be super hard for you to play. So it's like very punishing if you fall,
Yeah.
not even fall behind, but just like stay even. Like right now, I'd say like you're not even
Stay even.
behind, but you're just like, you're not strong enough to just 1v9 this game. Like you do a lot of damage, but I don't know if you... I mean, yeah, like, you're doing a ton of damage, but... Okay, imagine instead that this fight, you're, like, level 17 with 4 items instead of, like, level 15 with 3 items. This is, like, you win this fight so hard that you just, like, do Baron and, like, win the game straight after, you know? But instead, you're just, like, not quite strong enough to win the game. Like, this is close, to be honest, even though your Fiddlesticks doesn't use ult. So it's like, if you were a bit stronger, you win this fight, and then you probably... win the game, or at least you give yourself a much better chance at this game. I think it's like basically over now, right? Like there's nothing else. Okay, so let's write some notes for this game first. You can see this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so game 1, if I remember back, the biggest things for you were like, okay, one of the biggest things is like thinking about your roams in general, like just like all the stuff about your roaming, and also like, yeah, I don't know, just like, I guess you just need to put in some thought to your roams rather than just like doing it automatically. Also, I think your kind of like lane positioning / hugging, like there's a lot of times where you should probably die, but you kind of get like a little lucky, right? So like wards, vision, like jungler, all that sort of stuff. And then also clearing waves efficiently. So there's like with the cannon waves, right? Like you can push them a little bit quicker than you are. And on a champion like Ryze, that'll make a big difference. And also boots make a big difference, right? Because like if you remember when you walked down to that fight, if you'd gotten there a bit quicker, it would have made a difference, right? And that was with no boots. I think you have water walking, right? So you you have some movement speed, but if you have like boots, water walking, like you definitely get there quicker. What else was there in the early game? There was like oh yeah, there's like, so the base timings, like the third, I'll just call this like the third wave Ryze cheese. So it's like, this is very, very common in high elo, is for Ryze. Just quickly push 3 waves, base, and get tier without using TP. So that's like, that's something you could start doing in your games pretty much all the time. And actually your wave control versus like just like match up base, so like if you're versus a range champion, if you're versus a melee champion, I guess just like, again, it's something for you to start thinking about, just like, yeah, I don't know, making it into a habit. See, what else was there from the early game? I'll just skim through it really quick, if I can remember.
Yeah, warding a bit more.
Yeah. Oh yeah, also,
yeah,
that was a good thing. Yellow trinket. Early game and side lane. It's going to be really, really important for you as Ryze or as Kale as well. I mean, you still did pretty well.
I also remember one mistake is not taking the top wave, but joining the fight, trying to defend mid lane, and that's very hard for me to recognize, like, because sometimes I want to help my team.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to defend mid lane, not taking the farm, top lane. I don't know. Yeah, I struggle about those.
Yeah, I'll split this up. So I guess like prioritizing, is that how you spell that? I think there's an I in there. Maybe. Anyway, yeah. It's good enough. Prioritizing like side waves / camps a lot more. So there's like, yeah, there's a lot of times where you need to be really greedy. Just think of like Ryze needs to like like farm and like accelerate a lot. Like you need to be ahead of everyone else in the game to kind of perform well in team fights because your social range. Oh, also I'll put here like boot itemization against like well, I don't know, just in general, right? Like there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. The side waves, yeah, this was really big. Yeah, more camps, more creep waves.
A lot of I also do I understand correctly that because I've a lot of times in my games it's a bit of a fiesta where we end up having I don't know 100 kills, like 50 kills per enemy team. So everybody is level 18, everybody is like full equipped. We all have like 6 items and everything. Would you then think that Ryze is because you will be even than the others because everybody's level 18 full build? Would you recommend then playing Ryze a lot for climbing, or you think it's?
Well, I think like
I
I definitely agree.
Scaling.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying. Like in solo queue in general, and definitely in the lower elos, like because there are more kills, champions like Ryze and Lucian and stuff aren't as good. Like there's a reason why Ryze and Lucian are like so OP and competitive, and then they're just like not played as much. Like that being said, obviously, I don't know, it'll be easier for you if you play a different champion, but if this is what you enjoy, like you can definitely rank up using this, you know? Like you made a lot of mistakes. So it's like, yeah, I would say you're definitely playing, I wouldn't say on hard mode, but you're like making things extra difficult. But like, it's not to the point where don't think you're stuck in gold because you're playing Ryze. Don't think that, you know?
Sure. Thank you. I really needed to hear that.
That's good.
I really needed to hear that. Yeah.
What else was there? I think you didn't really get much of a chance to team fight like fairly. I feel like. Oh, this was a big thing. So like, I guess in general, like, I don't know what to call this, like wave limits maybe. So like there were a lot of times where you could have pushed more waves than you did, and there were also times like this where you walked up to a wave like too greedily, you know? So I guess like the way to kind of work on that is to just, when this happens, try and think about like why it happened, you know? Like I think it's pretty hard for you to just always know like what's going to be correct, but if you, it's like sort of good that you walked up to this wave because like now you know not to do that again, sort of thing, you know? As long as you actually think about why it happened rather than just being like, oh, fucking Nocturne, that champ's OP, you know? As long as you think about like the actual like reason behind it. Oh yeah, and just in general, like I guess like actually going to the side wave after tier 1 turrets fall. So like, yeah, just like there's a lot of times you went mid right, but you really don't want to share XP. But there were a lot of times like this where you actually did the right thing. So that was cool. Like you've definitely got some of the fundamentals down. It's just like sometimes you could do more ways, or you could like optimize a little bit better. I think you played team fights pretty well for the most part. It was sort of hard for you to team fight against their comp, I think, as well. Just trying to remind myself if there was anything else. But I don't think there really was. And I think that was made stuff. Okay, what I'll quickly do is I'll write down some of the ways you can work on this. So like, or like how to work on this. So the biggest things I think that for you to work on is like, okay, whenever you roam, like have a reason for it. So when you roam, try and like, okay, I'm roaming bot here because bot lane has no flash or something. Just try, like, okay, it's gonna take a while for you to think about everything, right? But if every time you go for a roam, you just have like some reason for doing it, that'll make a really big difference. I think also in the loading screen, like just before the game starts, think about like the enemy mid laner. Just think about like if you kind of want to push, like pull, I guess like push or pull the wave, because that way you kind of like have that locked in your mind before the game even starts. I also think just like having yellow trinket will make like a massive difference, and that's like instant for you to fix. And then in the mid game, I think just like really honestly at first just maybe try going going to side wave no matter what, because like it's, in my opinion, easier for you to like go to side lanes too much and then like realize, okay, this time I actually should have been at like that dragon fight or whatever, and like then it is for you to just like not go to side waves and then just like sometimes go to them but not really recognize the limits. So what you could do, if you're like comfortable doing it in ranked, or you could do it in a normal or even on your smurf, just run to the side wave no matter what. Just like run there and push like a psycho and just see what happens, basically. Like sometimes you'll get away with it, sometimes you won't, but then you'll start learning your limits. If you don't want to do it that crazily, just like try, just like focus on it more, right? You don't have to like make your whole game about it, but it's gonna be really, really important for you. So I'd say, yeah, like these are the biggest things for you to look at. Do you have any questions or like things about any of this?
No, everything was very, very clear. Yeah, everything was clear. And I guess maybe just in late game, I go side laning, I take XP, and every time there is an objective, like if there is, let's say, the third Drake,
Yeah.
or even the third or the fourth Drake, would you group with your team right
Yeah.
away, or would you not care in solo queue and just keep pushing? As it's a question, yeah, in general, I have.
Okay.
And for instance, if someone dies, so let's say if someone dies, so we are 4v5 because one of us got caught. Do I just give up instantly Drake and keep side lanings all the time, or do I still try to contest that Drake as 4 against 5? I think I know the answer, but I think we should not go, right? But
Yeah.
it's hard in solo queue because people are pinging, it's difficult.
Yeah, no, those are good questions. So I'd say like a general rule around objectives is like you should try base like 1 minute before the objective. So like the ideal is that, do you remember that time where like Gwen, you left the wave too early and then Gwen took your tower? The ideal is that you push the wave all the way to their tower and then you base 1 minute before the objective, and so then like there's no way they can push it all the way back to you, and then you still have time to base and come to the objective. If it's a 4v5, like 4v5 objective fights, you can take it if they say like, if they use stuff, right? Like if they used all their ults, if they use a bunch of flashes, if they're low, you can definitely fight it. But yeah, like if someone important dies, they didn't use anything, like you just have to give it up. Yeah, I mean, your teammates will ping and stuff, but it's the only real option, honestly. Like you could go try to take the fight, but I think it's like almost guarantee you'll lose unless you're so strong that you could 4v5. And like it's possible, right? Like Ryze is the sort of champion that could actually like 4v5 a fight. But yeah, you just kind of need to check, because okay, say with this game, right? If someone important on your team died, so if let's say Fiddlesticks dies and he doesn't use ult, right? And let's say they use no ults, there's no chance you can fight it. But if, for example, Sivir dies, someone that's not as important, and they use Nocturnal and Nico, I think you could fight it. So like it's sort of going to be up to you to like what happened here? Sort of up to you to evaluate it in the moment, but like I don't know, it's hard to give a blanket rule. I guess like if you wanted one, it's just like don't take 4v5s, but the reality is like some 4v5s are good. You just need to like, yeah, I don't know, just like think about it, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's perfectly clear. Thanks. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to take a quick like 10-minute look at the KO game before like we run out of time?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Thanks. With pleasure. Yeah.
So I think what we should do is actually.
I've made a lot of.
Oh, you go.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
I was gonna say. Well, actually, no. You say what you were gonna say first.
Yeah, I was just saying that in that game I've made like a lot of mistakes, especially in the late game, because I know that I have that responsibility to carry being like reaching late game, but I'm always scared. I have like sort of problem that I'm always scared of being one shot by everybody, and that's what ends up happening. I always like misposition myself or panic while auto-attacking. I don't like the spacing I have on Gale, because Ryze is a bit better with mobility. Gale, I have the feeling that I have to stand still, and then I end up dying very quickly.
Yeah.
So I've made a lot of mistakes, yeah. And I think, I don't know, I'm always behind. when I play Kale, like during all game, because I don't know, I can't snowball, or I don't know how to snowball or to win my lanes. I always lose my lanes basically with Kale, so I just kill and that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, let me quickly skip
what
to.
were you saying?
I was gonna say I want to skip
Yeah.
to like 15 minutes and see what kind of situation you're in.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's like a couple things I want to quickly look. Actually, no. We already know about your side laning. I'll watch your lane and see, because like if you're Kale and you have like 97 CS at 15 minutes, it's like, yeah, it's sort of the same thing as Ryze. Like you need to just be way more ahead of everyone else to play the game normally. So let's see. We'll just watch your early game, I think, and kind of see. Oh, your Zed started with a kill. That's pretty annoying. Okay. So you're mainly going to be look to like defensive laning, farming with E. Yep, nice. This is perfect. The wave's on your side. You get to farm for free. Okay, this, in my opinion, is a mistake. So when you're Kale, right? Pre-6, there is no chance that you ever kill your opponent. So like E's on your opponent like this, it doesn't do anything. All that means is that like you're gonna miss the CS basically, because you're not gonna be able to E it. You know, like you could E this creep. So as Kale, there is literally almost, okay, if they're a melee champion like one that can't farm from range, like Zed can farm from range with his Q, right? If there's a champion like Yone, or even Yone kind of farm from range, something like Yasuo where they really have to be right next to you, you could maybe hit them because like Kale is pretty strong in like melee range, but there's like no chance you're ever killing this guy. It's just like never gonna happen. And so all these times that you're Eing him is just like, it's just a waste pretty much. Like obviously it doesn't cost any mana, right?
Wasted.
But you never want to miss creeps because you're harassing basically. Like you've used it a few times. I'm not sure how many creeps you've missed for it, but for the most part this is fine. Like you're keeping the wave on your side. I think this is pretty optimal. I don't think there's, maybe you're using Q a bit too much, because I feel like the Q harass doesn't really do much. So you're only really using Q to help you CS. But like, okay, yeah, so like this is a problem because you can just like E this creep rather than Qing it. Like look how you lost 70 mana for one creep that you could have gotten for free. So as Kale, you should spend all your mana just on healing yourself in the early game. There's no point ever using Q. Just like always E for CS and like Q if you need to help fix the CS, you know, like if they're under tower and you need to fix them. But it's like, yeah, just like really important that you recognize that you can never kill people with KO at early game. It's just not gonna happen. Like now you're out of mana for pretty much no reason, but it's like not the biggest deal. Like you can base. Okay. I'd say you're in a pretty decent spot.
I think SS, but my my Zed is roaming and taking kills.
I mean, this is fine to be honest. Like he gets a kill, but you managed to deny him wave. Like it sucks that your top laner died, but I'd say you're in a pretty good spot after that. I think this was also a smart roam timing from you. Like your wave was already pushed in. They were on low HP. You can push this with them and base. Yeah, I'd say you're in a really good spot. Okay, I do think this is pretty greedy. So attack speed boots are really good on Kale. And like, okay, you definitely buy attack speed boots, but I think it would probably be better for you to build Seekers before boots in this matchup. Because if you look at this, right? They're, especially their mid jungle, they're both AD. And their top laner's AD as well, actually. And they're AD, okay. So there's like, but the mid jungle is what you're mainly going to interact with. So buying Seekers as your first item will pretty much make you unkillable to Zed. And also mean that if you take any skirmish against Graves and Zed, that you're way, way tankier. And I think the attack speed doesn't... It's not going to do as much for you. Like, it's good, don't get me wrong.
What is the Seeker?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It's the item for building the first...
This one. The one that gives, like, armor and stuff? Yeah. So if you build this, when they have double AD... mid jungle like this, it's so broken, especially when they have an assassin champ. So yeah, that would be really good for you, and probably better than boots here, I think. Although boots aren't, it's not like boots are bad, just that like Seekers would probably be a bit better.
Yeah. I was tilted here, and I think I pinged my jungler because I thought we could kill him. Like, yeah.
Does she have flash, the Lilia? I don't know if she does. I think if she has flash, maybe you can kill. But also, I would say that this is like, it's almost a waste of your time. Like, you can, if you get this kill but you lose a bunch of HP for it, you might not be able to farm this wave, and that would be just like, that would just be horrible, you know? If you can just, like, okay, just, you need to be really selfish as Kale. Like, I wouldn't worry about this at all. I would literally just farm your wave. Make sure you just, like, get all the creeps and not worry about, like, roaming or anything like that. So I think there you should have just, like, even if you get the kill, I'm not even sure how worth it is. Yeah, you can just ignore him. Like, if he's wasting time in the jungle while you're farming, that's, like, that's your dream scenario. You're, like, super happy about that. So, yeah, the main reason you've like fallen behind is, I'd say, like, the itemization was part of it. Also that, like, you didn't use your E very well, so you lost a bit of creeps, and like you had a really bad death where you missed like 2 or 3 waves. So if you hadn't done all that and you were instead like just 0-0 but you had like 110 CS, you'd be in like a super good spot at this moment. Hey, wait, you got a shutdown on Zed. Okay, you're in such a good spot actually. Right, you push this wave, you base, come back, you come top. What happened here? Why did you walk here? The Graves? Oh, I see, because Graves is there. Yeah, I think here as well, like, the problem is, if you're a champion like Ryze, walking to this is fine, because you have CC and stuff, right? You're a Kayle with no flash, no ult, no crowd control. Like, even if you find Graves here, like, you don't do anything to him. And the problem is, by walking here, you gave up another wave on your tower. So, it's like, it's really bad. Like, you just don't contribute anything. Once you see this fight start, then you can come, right? But you could have gone to that wave and then come here, rather than coming here and then going to that wave. Because, like, now you come, and I think this should be good for you. But you could have got that CS as well. Oh my god, they're actually so low. Nice. You got an assist, nice. You push this in, hit the tower, very nice. I think this is your wave. Yeah, this is definitely your wave. So if you check right now, 5 seconds on Graves and 4 seconds on Zed, which means there's no way they can get to here in the next 10 seconds. So after killing this tower, you should push another wave. Because what happens here is that this creep wave is going to deny you CS. Like, you would have lost half this wave, I think.
Yeah.
Probably a bit more than half. Yeah, and also, if you did want to roam here, you would want that to be pushed in, right? Because you want more time. So it's like for both reasons. But if like you don't push it all the way in, you basically have to run straight top again, because otherwise you're gonna lose the CS. So like walking down here, to be honest, Zed made a pretty big mistake. If Zed keeps pushing this and pushes another, you lose like 3 waves. But he was kind of nice to you. He like left all this for you. So you get to come up here, you take these. I think after clearing this wave, yeah, you kind of have, you should keep pushing. You should push another one here as well, I'm pretty sure. I think you're stronger than this guy, definitely. And you see everyone else on the map, so you can push another wave, and then after that wave, then you can come and do Grok.
I have a question here. How do you know?
How do you know?
That's the problem I have. How do you know that you're stronger? That you're stronger than him? Because I always assume that I'm not. I always assume that, well, I know, everybody's stronger than me. So
yeah.
I saw
yeah, fair enough. So for me, it would be like, if I like just press like pause right here and look, it would be like, okay, you're level 11 Kayle, like you're really, really strong. And also like Urgot, okay, I guess maybe you just need champ knowledge. Like Urgot's not really a strong champion until like level 11 and even stronger at level 13. So it's basically like you've already hit your power spike and Urgot hasn't. And also it's like, just like the way your champions interact, like the way Urgot kills people is by getting them low and then like killing them with the ult, right? But Kayle is really good against that because you can make sure you never get low in the first place because you have a lot of mobility. You have like your ult to just prevent damage. There's basically no way Urgot can ever fight you. And this is another thing that like if you're not sure whether you're stronger than people or not, you might just have to just like start fighting them and finding out, you know? Because like if you never fight anyone, you'll never find out. And it's gonna suck, right? Like sometimes you're gonna walk into say like a Tryndamere or a Jax and they're just gonna kill you. and you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that champ was like really broken. But yeah, so you could have pushed one more and then come and done this. And actually, I'm pretty sure if you'd pushed another and then come, you could have taken probably... Yeah, I think you could have done this more efficiently. So I think this tower is dead no matter what, because you can't get to it in time. But I think what you could have done is if you push one more, so you get one more wave here, you get Gromp, Wolves, and then you can get back to top tower in time. So I think here you missed out on about 20 more CS or so. So that was quite a big, like, again,
wow. Yeah.
It was like a lot of CS that you just sort of missed for free. Yeah, I'll just quickly skim through the rest of it because, like, yeah, I don't want to watch it for the whole time.
And
but
then I just, yeah, I just end up doing a lot of mistakes. But yeah.
Let's just see. I mean, you just... Oh, that was close. Nice. 1,000 gold. Super worth. Yeah, I think this is a hard game to play without Azonias, by the way. Like, you're going Rabadons, but I think you probably needed Azonias, like, mainly because they're full AD. And, yeah. When you're playing these short-range champions, you can afford to, like, be a bit... Like, okay, there's champions like, again, like Lux, Ziggs, even some of the like mid-range majors like Syndra, Orianna, you can build these full damage builds and get away with it. But on champs like Ryze, Kayle, you will always take damage because you're just not long range enough. So you like need those tankier stats, and also on those champions, you always build HP. So you're gonna be able to like make more use out of the tank stats, you know, like armor and HP like working together. So yeah, that's really good if you can buy that. It'll make playing the game a lot easier for you. Let's see if you could have done this better. Yeah. Like you're super strong, but also you're just like super squishy. Like you're level 16 and you do like a ton of damage, but I'm pretty sure you also die in like 2 hits. And that sort of sucks because you have so much like damage that if you don't die in 2 hits, you will just kill everyone, you know? But you've made it so where you have to play the team fight like perfectly for you to deal with this. And I mean, you actually just one-shot that guy. How's this game keep going? Oh, what runes do you have, by the way? Did you
Little tempo.
What about what are your secondary runes? Like, do you have? Oh, okay, yeah, nice.
I think overgrowth. I think.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah, I think so. The green thing.
Yeah, nice. Okay, good.
Yeah, and then I just end up dying.
Okay, let's just quickly write some notes for this one as well. So in game 2, something I definitely see as a trend is like you need to be way greedier / selfish, because the problem is you're like playing scaling / greedy champs, but like you're not getting the payoff, because when you're playing these champs, you're expecting your team to fall slightly behind, but you make up for this by just like 1v9ing the game after that, right? But the problem is that like in the early game, you okay, so in the early game, you fall like not too far behind, but you just like, what's the word? Like you're not on the clock, I guess. Like you fall a bit behind in CS compared to where you should be. And then the problem is that in the mid game, like you don't take over. You're not like tons of levels above. Also, I think the like tankier itemization will make a much, like it'll make it way easier for you to fight. So on champions like Ryze and Kayle, you can definitely afford, don't go full tank by any means, but like Zhonya's, Everfrost, you know, health items, those are like way better. Those make a big difference for you. And just like being efficient in terms in farming, like in general, makes such a big deal. Like there's a lot of times where you don't push the extra wave, you don't farm the extra camp, you know, you waste a bit of time, and it really adds up on these champs. I'd actually recommend, I don't know if I can find it, I'll just quickly look. I'm pretty sure there's like Kale 12 CSPN. There's like, yeah, okay. I'd watch like one of these games. Okay, this is by Mid Beast. I'd watch one of these and just like pay attention to how he has so much CS. You know, like this is a KO 1v9. Like his team is hard losing, but he is 290 CS at 24 minutes. I'll actually just put this in here. It feels weird to link Mid Beast videos, but you know, just in case you do want to watch this, I'll put it in here.
Yeah, I'm also watching him from time to time.
Yeah, okay, no, that's good. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll copy paste this to you on, I'll just send it to you on Discord right now. There you go.
Much, yeah.
And yeah, so I recorded most of it, so I can just upload it and I'll just send it to you later, I guess, and link that to you. Yeah, do you have any other like questions or anything before we end it?
No, I really don't. I really don't. Thank you very much. It was very helpful. So I will definitely keep playing Ryze in in KL and try to implement all of that. Even though, yeah, I have a lot to work on. But yeah,
Yeah,
that
definitely.
was very helpful to point out all these mistakes because I always thought that I was doing some things wrong, but some things that you pointed out I never even thought about. Like for instance, catching another wave or those kind of things. To me, it was not even mistakes because I just
Yeah, you
couldn't
just didn't
see
know
it.
about them, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
exactly.
hard for you to improve on everything because there's like a lot, right? But you should just try improve one thing at a time. And I really think the biggest thing is this, like just go insane on the side wave for like a week and just try push those extra waves, like farm those extra camps, just like go really hard on that. And I think that'll make a really big difference. But yeah, let me know if like how it goes and if you kind of like struggle with anything. You can just like message me at any time and I'll probably
Yeah,
respond.
yeah, definitely I will do. Well, thank you very much. It was all clear, and yeah, thank you very much. Also, the first time I've been taking coaching because yeah, I watch your videos and I really enjoyed how you explain things and stuff. So I think you're doing great,
Thank
very
you,
great
man.
work, man. Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
really. It's amazing how you don't have a lot of YouTubers like you. But yeah, thanks very much
Yeah.
anyway, and good luck for the other coachings as well. And yeah.
Thank you, man. Good luck on the climb.
Thanks.
All right.
We'll keep you posted
Yeah,
if I
let me
ever
know.
join the
I'm
division or so.
curious. All
Thanks.
right.
Have a good day. Good
Yeah,
weekend
you
as well.
too. See you
Bye
later.
bye.